Our next presenter is Brett Lusso with Handling Systems International with jibs, gantries, and workstation cranes. Welcome, Brett.
Oh, thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you. And thank you to AWRF certainly for the forum and the opportunity. And for any members that are on, thank you for joining. I appreciate the opportunity today. We hope everybody's staying safe. And personally, I'm looking forward to the time when we can stop doing WebExes and computer seminars and do all this face to face. So looking forward to that day. And again, hopefully everybody's staying safe out there. A little bit about handling systems, and then I want to focus on a couple unique products today. Not cover our entire product line, but sort of touch on a couple that have really been heavy hitters for us recently. Handling Systems was founded in 1957. The current ownership bought the business in 1995. And in 2018, we bought a new facility in McCook, Illinois, which is just west of Chicago. That's also the year that we joined AWRF. So the ownership is family owned. It's Mark and his sons, Jake and Mike. Jake is currently 11 years old. Mike is 9 years old. They do a great, no, I'm just kidding. This is the family today. Jake is 39, Mike is 36, Mark is 70, and then I come in. I joined the company 4 years ago. My name is Brett Lusso, and I'm in charge of business development, product development, marketing, sales for Handling Systems International. We had an old building up until a few years ago that was 18,000 square feet. It was the original ice house of LaGrange, Illinois, and that building has since been demolished. We currently have a 58,000 square foot facility where we're manufacturing jibs, gantry, workstation cranes, and selling through our dealer network throughout the US. One thing I want to mention is we are big proponents of training. So if anybody out there would like training on jibs, gantries, workstation cranes, we do offer a free class. Just need to get yourself to Chicago. It's a day and a half. We pick up room and board for everybody, and we call this CST, or Crane Sales Training. We've had great success with this class. I think people come in sort of feeling like cranes can be a little overwhelming and walk out feeling like they can easily sell cranes as part of their lifting solution. Our new facility is unique in that we have an indoor steel yard. So we're bringing in clean steel. We're keeping it clean. We don't store steel outdoors. We store all of our steel indoors to help eliminate the rust, the oxidation, anything that might happen to that steel. It creates the cleaning process a lot easier and ultimately makes the paint adhere better. We're doing all of our fabrication out of this facility, including our new Nico rail, which is our enclosed track cranes. This profile is the exact same profile as Spanco, Metriel, the original Gorbel before they rolled their own, but it's a very much a Me Too product from the standpoint of capacities as far as functionality, and all of this is being manufactured in Chicago. We do all of our own sub-assemblies in-house, so head assemblies, roller cages, everything need to make a jib crane we do in our Chicago facility. And one thing we're really proud of is our paint finish. We have a 30-foot oven and a 25-foot booth, a 30-foot booth and a 25-foot oven. So as we paint the systems, they are paint in the booth and then cured in the oven, which really helps in the finish of the product and ultimately how it shows up at the customer. Product is primed. Finished product comes out, and then it's stored indoors before we ship it to our end users. So dealers can rest assured that we take pride in packaging and in the paint and the quality of the product. So why do customers buy from Handling Systems? Pretty simple. We are 100% through distribution. We are here to support our dealer network. We only sell through dealers. We never cross that line. We have a dealer network throughout the country. We pride ourselves in being selective on who our dealers are. And everything ships from a centralized ship point, which is Chicago. I mean, we can cover most of the country in a day or two. At worst case, if we ship to the West Coast, it's 3 to 4 days. So we're known for jibs, gantries, workstation cranes, I-beam bridge cranes, and I-beam runway structures. I'd like to talk a little bit about the ABCs of lifting. So pretty simple. If you have a crane, you need a hoist. And if you have a hoist, you need a below the hook lifting attachment. And that's where the AWRF group really comes in. You know, we do really good at supplying the A, and most of you dealers do really good with the B and C. We often have dealers send us the hoist to have them ship or integrate as one complete unit. But we often say, if you have a crane, where's the hoist, or where's the hoist sail? And if you have that, you should be asking, where's the sling or below the hook attachment sail? So it's really a complementary item to what the AWRF group does. It's everything above the hook. And we're proud to be at what we say is the top of the food chain. One product I would really like to focus on is our foundationless jibs. So this product is available up to 1 ton, 16-foot span, and 16 height under boom. And by foundationless, I mean we do not have to dig up the floor. We do not have to pour a foundation. We do not have to set anchors. We can do this as long as the customer has 6 inches of good reinforced concrete. And of course, the customer needs to make that determination, and we'll provide the PSI and the concrete requirements. But most jib cranes that are sold meet this criteria. Digging up the floor, pouring a foundation can cost much more than the crane. And years ago, this was the only solution. But now we do this with foundationless jibs that have a bigger base plate, more holes, more gussets to support the crane. And this is done on just 6 inches of reinforced concrete. So we've taken the added expense of several $1,000s, plus the disruption in business, plus the curing time of the concrete. We've made that go away. So you pay slightly more for a jib crane, but you don't have the disruption. It sets up in 45 minutes and the crane can be used the next day. So this is a big part of our business. We've seen 1 ton and under jib cranes, 85% move to foundationless, away from the traditional crane of having to dig up the floor and pour a foundation. They can just about be mounted anywhere. Again, we provide the floor requirements and the customer makes that determination. Next thing I'd like to talk about is our Nico rail, which is our enclosed track workstation cranes. So this is one heck of an opportunity to put some money in your pocket. It's not a gamble. It's pretty simple, straightforward stuff. It's enclosed track. It's roll formed, and the forms themselves are rolled in Austria, and we import container loads at a time of the rail. Then what we do is we truss it, or ladder truss it, or spline back it. We create the runway structures. We do the headers and columns. And it's the exact same profile as Spanco or Metriel or the old Crane-Bear. It's absolutely no different. In fact, the mill that supplies our rail is the same mill that supplies Metriel. And was the original supplier to Gorbel and Spanco. So a little bit of a Me Too product from that standpoint, but you have an opportunity to get aggressive on pricing. You're not out there promoting the blue brand, as I like to say. And one thing that we are promoting is the fact that we will private label these for AWRF members. So you can go out and you can promote your brand, your company, and not the crane manufacturer. So we're making this, we have been since 2019. We bring in bare sticks. We have all the hardware, splices, end trucks, trolleys, hangers, all the components in stock. We can build these systems in 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 weeks. And they're easy to ship. And quite frankly, they're very, very easy to assemble because they're very, very forgiving for misalignment. So here's a couple pictures of some recent cranes that we've sold. You see they look pretty much like everybody else's cranes. They are push-pull workstation cranes. There's not a whole lot to the mechanics. They roll, they have a smooth rolling surface, it's enclosed. We have no limitations as far as capacity or span that anybody else does, which is 2 ton, 34-foot span and 30-foot between column supports. This particular crane has multiple bridges and power supplied by enclosed conductor bar. Here's another system. I talked a little bit about custom colors and private labeling. This customer preferred that the color of the crane matched the other colors of the cranes that were in his facility. So in this case, they were Gorbel blue. No problem. We supplied 5 cranes to a factory full of 60 plus Gorbel cranes. Quite frankly, after they were done, you could hardly tell the difference. And the customer was pleased. The functionality was exactly the same. Again, custom colors. This one happens to be for a dealer that wanted his brand, his logo, and his color scheme, which is red and gray. And we provided that, and it's no charge. All we simply need to do is get the logo, either the artwork from you or the stickers, and we can provide that on the cranes that we ship out. We're also really good at switches and curves. So paint boosts, 90-degree bends, anywhere where you have interlocks. These can be manually or powered on the interlocks, but we often sell these systems in the paint booths where you have to go into a booth and then spur out. So enclosed track works much better than I-beam when it comes to switches and curves. It's very, very simple to match, mark, and level. And quite frankly, it's the same profile all the way through, almost like patented track. So we're very good at this, and we have full access to switches, curves, and interlocks. So we're right in the middle of the country. I mean, we can cover anywhere in a day or two. We really, for this product, for enclosed track cranes, there's nobody that's making them in the central US. You have Gorbel and Spanco that certainly have multiple facilities, but none of them are in the Midwest. So we feel we can cover the country as good as anybody else and ship within 80% of the US market in a day or two. For enclosed track, there's really 2 styles. There's our style, which is the roll formed, which is the same as Gorbel, Spanco, Craneveyor, Metriel. And then you have the 2-part welded or pinned, which is the DMAG KBK style. Knight, Unified, Zimmerman, that's a different market. So we kind of live in the industrial sector, and DMAG, Knight, Global live in the automotive sector. But there's an awful lot of cranes that are sold in this industrial sector that, quite frankly, many of you AWRF members are probably already selling to, and may be already selling one of our competitors' brands. We'd love for you to take a look at ours because we think we have a competitive product that, quite frankly, could put some more money in your pocket. Profile, here's a Gorbel Blue and their 25 series and my 25 series, and dimensionally exactly the same. Our rail to header connection is slotted, very, very simple to install. There's really nothing to it other than setting some columns and putting headers on that are slotted. So again, very forgiving for misalignment. And the way the runways hang, you can easily align these and be off an inch or 2 and the crane still floats. We're also doing electric and air powered tractors. So the tractor drives are available through Saturn. Saturn already makes a tractor that fits the Spanco profile. So it fits our profile as well. So we can power these systems with either air or electric for a fully motorized crane system. Or we can do it after the fact and send out the power drives to upgrade the system after the fact. Festoon stack up sections, which is where the power cord lives when the crane is already all the way recessed, is no different than anybody else. In fact, the festoon trolleys are the same festoon trolleys that everybody else uses. We can do special things like cantilevers, where we can actually cantilever out beyond the columns to make a pick point that is beyond the crane columns themselves. We've done this several times. So we're very good at engineered specials, and we have a full engineering staff here that can support the engineering requirement. They don't need to be freestanding. They can also be ceiling hung. So, if the customer has the ability to hang from the ceiling, we have the ability to provide the hangers and hang the systems from the ceiling, just like any of the other suppliers currently do. Again, you'll see in this one, this is a private labeled system. Customer provided their artwork, and we provided the banner or the nameplate with their logo so that they're promoting their brand on the enclosed track systems. And the last thing about these cranes is stainless steel. We provide 304, 316 stainless up to 1,100 pound capacity. So food grade pharmaceutical. This is becoming big business, and these are available and can ship out as complete stainless steel systems with a food grade hoist for a nice application in that type of environment. So we often get the question, well, what about a crane brain, or what do you have for a quoting tool? Well, we designed our own quoting tool. It's 3D DriveWorks. It's done in SolidWorks. So as you go in, you can go onto our website. And you can configure any of these products. If you do a workstation crane, it does provide a 3D drawing. But all you have to do is log in and register. Anybody that's an AWRF member can do that. You can go in and start configuring your product today. And that goes for jibs, gantries, workstation cranes, the foundationless cranes that I talked about earlier. All of that is available, and all of it can be done through our website. So it's a bunch of drop downs. You simply enter the capacity and the parameters. The nice thing is it'll send you an email with the attachments. So literally in a minute or two after you create the quote, you can walk away, get a fresh cup of coffee, come back and have the quote sitting in your inbox. The workstation cranes are really easy. Again, it's several drop downs. You start with the runway and the support distance, move on to the bridge crane and the trolley and the festooning. And in 5 minutes, you have a quote, you have a 3D CAD drawing. You have everything that you can present to the customer, as well as a PDF list price quote and a Word document that you can modify or change the pricing and quite frankly, the artwork too as well. The deliverable is great. We give you a 2-scale drawing, all the critical dimensions. Everything about this is also available or comes with the 3D CAD drawing as well. And last thing I wanted to point out is if anybody reads Hoist magazine, I like to read it to my kids. They don't really like that I read it to my kids, but my kids once a month have to sit down and listen to me read Hoist magazine to them. Sometimes we do that to put them to sleep, but Hoist magazine recently featured us on the cover. This was a motorized system. The bottom crane was used, the top crane was used to pull the mast off of sailboats. And then the bottom crane, they spun the crane 180 degrees and then picked the boats out of the water. So we're very good at motorized jib cranes. We're very, very good at retrofit kits. And one thing I want to show you, I've got a quick video. It's just me and it'll end this presentation. It's actually us talking about motorized cranes, motorized jib cranes, and retrofit kits. So let me see if I can switch us over here. Nope. I don't know that it's going to switch. Well, I don't think it's going to, but that's okay. We do have a YouTube page. YouTube page has several videos, including this one, which is talking about a motorized retrofit kit and motorizing a jib crane that was sold as a push-pull crane and then motorized after the fact. So that concludes my presentation. I'm certainly open to comments, questions. 20 minutes is not a long time to talk, but hopefully you learned a little bit more about handling systems. We're proud to be associated with AWRF, and we look forward to growing our business with you.